Welcome back to NTV My Teacher. We are continuing our conversation with our panelists on the topic, are our girls excessively focusing on the looks? We had posed a question to the audience just before we took a break. Who's responsible for creating this obsession in our little girls, in our teenage girls? Are their parents, peers, or the media? And we are surprised at the kind of responses that are coming in. The majority of viewers are saying parents. I was expecting to hear them say or complain about the media. Please come back to us, let the responses flow in. I've got a slightly mean question to ma'am here.
Sure.
Okay, ma'am, you said, because the statistics show that the real Barbie girl, okay, if she was a real woman, she wouldn't have been able to walk on all fours. She would have to actually crawl because her body frame wouldn't support her to walk. And the kind of models that we have nowadays, probably 10 or 15 kilograms below par, and which is unhealthy. Ma'am, you said schools are doing a lot to actually spread the right awareness, but I know that a lot of schools conduct fashion shows. So forgive me for asking a mean question. So don't you think that's actually sending the wrong message to our young ones?
Okay. It's not a mean question, it's a misunderstood question.
Okay.
That's how I would look at it.
Okay.
The reason being
Okay.
that schools do have fashion shows.
Okay.
I know of a school that has a fashion show where they display recycled material.
Okay.
So the fashion show is not regarding the physical attributes of the child.
Really? Okay.
Okay. But it is about how well you can reuse the
Okay.
throwaway material.
That's interesting, yeah.
Our own Sharjah does it,
Okay.
and they had the recycled runway for the 4th successful session
Okay.
recently. And it is amazing what you can do with used tissue facial tissue paper,
Okay.
or your plastic paper cups and so on.
Okay.
Similarly, any school, and I would like to believe that any and every school, when it conducts a fashion show,
Okay.
I don't think you will have a scoring column which says height of the student, weight of the student. Instead, it would say about the type of clothes that she is wearing, perhaps, to see whether she knows how to dress appropriately, the communication skills, because a series of questions would be asked, and the appropriateness of the replies, therefore.
Okay.
So it is a test on IQ as well as on the alertness and awareness of the student.
Michael.
So I have a feeling that parents and students may say, oh, we had a fashion show in school.
Okay.
I want parents to believe the fact that almost all schools, and I am speaking not only of the GEM schools and our own English High School Sharjah, but all schools, I believe, when they are conducting a beauty show, it is to celebrate some other type of beauty
Okay.
and some other type of skill in the students.
I take back that mean question. I was planning to win a brownie point with that question, but then I never knew this was happening, because we just hear about fashion shows.
That's right.
A lot of parents have this concern, and parents, don't be so self-righteous. The responses are coming in, and most of them are pointing the fingers at you, saying that you are the ones who are making our children excessively obsessed. I've got a very important question to Shalini now. Shalini, my research says that 60% of bullying that happens amongst girls happens on the topic of looks. Somebody is too fat, or somebody is too tall, or too short. And is this a reality? Do you girls really bully one another?
Yes, not in probably not in school, but I think outside school, you're popular based on how pretty you are, and they do not like rate you on your on the fact that you study well or you're topping, or if you're studying well, and you get really good scores, and I hate that girl. I hate that girl. And I don't know why people of my age do that, because it's pretty mean. I mean, they've been working hard and they're getting the fruits of success, and so why not? I mean, they are beautiful in their own way.
Okay.
I think, but in our school, they've always been they've always instilled in us, our principal especially, she dresses simple, like she's very simple in her in the way she dresses
Carries
and she
herself, yeah.
presents herself. But the way she talks is what makes her beautiful from my point of view.
Okay.
Because she speaks so well that it inspires us, you know, and she's zero tolerant on bullying. So
Okay.
there is no, I don't think there is a case of bullying as such, or based on looks mostly in our school. But I think outside school, definitely yes, you're popular if you are if you have a good set of, if you have a big makeup box and you have a good figure. So
And so the urge, because you don't want to be left out from your peer
Yes.
group, and you really want their acceptance, so definitely you've got the urge to fit in. Brutal question. Suppose I mean, 3 or 4 of you, you have a gang, you go out, you have fun, and a 5th one comes in, and if that girl isn't groomed enough, let's say she's very intelligent, she's very hardworking, but I heard a girl mentioning a not so groomed girl as a stuck in the mud type, because I
Okay.
was asking them this
familiar with
question. They
the
said she's stuck in the mud. So would you find it hard? Give a frank answer, Shalini. Would you find it hard to accept someone? Would you find it hard to be seen with someone like that?
yes, very honest answer. Yes.
Okay, okay.
I don't think I generally don't care about looks as such, but if I was, but generally girls of my age, if they are seen with someone new who's not well groomed enough
Okay.
and gets and is supposed a topper of the class, for instance, then your popularity goes from probably top 10 to like top 6,000 something.
Okay.
Because they really the new girls who are not well groomed or who are not popular or whom we don't know as such are generally not welcome. So so again over there your friendships are again based on looks.
Exactly. Imagine the kind of pressure this particular environment and the demands that this environment makes on our little ones would be putting them through. So I'm sure we should all go the extra mile to convince them. How can parents play a part? We'll definitely talk about that towards the latter end of the session. But I've got a serious concern to ma'am. Ma'am, I was doing my research for this program, and what I found was something very alarming.
Tell me.
The kind of adverts that were being shown to young girls watching Disney princesses and Barbie girls, especially in the West. 80% of the ads were about cosmetic surgery and changing the anatomy to conform to these standards. So the corporate world is really trying to catch them young.
Yes.
So what can schools do? What can kindergarten teachers do to make sure that this particular bias is taken away from kids and a proper awareness is given to them?
Okay. First of all, I think let's try to give them dolls which look realistic.
Okay.
Okay. I think we could start from there. Somewhere I've heard it being said that why is it that we give the boys those sort of machine gun looking
yeah,
toys,
the He-Man, yeah,
the He-Man
true,
and
yeah.
everything, and why do we give girls the Barbie doll? Now, I think as a society we need to behave in a very responsible manner.
True.
So it begins from there. Now, I'm not going to teach a KG child or even at the primary level. Sometimes these auto suggestions implant the views of what is the right figure, what is not the right figure in the minds of the child. As the problem arises, we begin to address it. Now here I would like to tell you about what one of my teachers did, and I lauded it so much. It was on YouTube. She played Lupita Nyong'o's speech.
Okay.
I wonder if you all have
Yes,
heard
ma'am.
about
Yes,
it.
ma'am. I have, yeah.
An absolutely brilliant speech where the celebrity accepted her color, purple, or her black color, and then she said it in such a convincing manner that at the end of that lesson, I mean it got converted into a lesson, the children were asked to reflect on it and write about it. Believe me, most of the students wrote that color should not be obsessed upon. It should not be a matter of concern. And that of course they reaffirmed a very catchy slogan that black is beautiful. Now let the schools celebrate the successful women, be it an Indira Nooyi or be it Oprah Winfrey, be it any other person who have scaled new heights, broken the glass ceiling, did something for the benefit of the society. And if you notice, they come in all colors. They may be yellow, they may be fair, they may be pale, they may be dark, but all the same. They are women of substance. They are women who are being celebrated and awarded by the society. Once we start giving greater visibility to these women and their messages, I believe that students would opt for the better message rather than go in for these sort of cosmetic procedures.
True. Thank you, ma'am. Beautifully said. Very soulfully said. I'm looking at the responses. 40% of them say that it's parents.
Yes.
30% says it's a peer group. And it's only another 30% that says it's the media. Because I think what our viewers are trying to say, yes, for media, it's all about making money. Let them do what they want to do. But at the end of the day, it's upon us to create the right awareness in our children.
This is just what I've been trying to say, because it is not in the child itself.
Okay.
When we are born, when we are young, if you have noticed that the child doesn't mind his or her playmate who is dark skinned. They only say, oh, you're black, you're not my color, and you know, they just compare their skin tones. They don't go beyond that.
Exactly.
They don't put away their friend just because he's of a dark color. But then when the family is going to say, oh, he's dark,
Exactly.
and then you are giving an idea, putting an idea into the minds of the child, which grows with age.
True. Let's go for that adage, which basically says that when you point your finger at someone else, 3 fingers are pointing at you. So parents, we have to discuss something serious with you. We'll do that after the break. Please, data says that 10,000 people a month Google, am I ugly? That's what Google says. It's a real obsession, and it's a very unhealthy obsession. Before we take another short break, one quick question, yes or no answer, Shalini. Do you think parents or mothers in particular play a role in creating this unhealthy obsession? Yes or no?
Yes.
You can't elaborate.
Yes.
Yes, Shalini says yes. We'll get more details on this question, but let's take a short break and we'll come back to continue this interesting conversation.
In association with
Atlas Group of Institutions, expanded with its new division.
നിങ്ങളൊരു തൊഴിലന്വേഷകനാണോ? തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങൾ അറിയാൻ കഴിയാതെ പോകുന്നുണ്ടോ? യോഗ്യതയ്ക്കനുസരിച്ചുള്ള ജോലി കിട്ടാത്തതിൽ നിങ്ങൾ നിരാശനാണോ? യുഎയിലെ പൊതു സ്വകാര്യ മേഖലയിലെ തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങൾ ഞങ്ങൾ അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുന്നു. എംപ്ലോയ്മെന്റ് ന്യൂസ്.
Atlas Group of Institutions, expanded with its new division. International College of Law, Business Administration and Technology. ICL BAT in Ajman.
AGI's Atlas International College Free Zone, Ras Al Khaimah.
Provides
Undergraduation BCom, BBA, BCA, BMN, BSc.
University of Madras, University of Calicut and Atlantic International University from the USA.
ഗൾഫിലെത്തിയാൽ നാടിനെയും നാട്ടിലെ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെയും പോലെ ഏറ്റവും അധികം മിസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മറ്റൊന്നുണ്ട്, നമ്മുടെ നാടിന്റെ രുചി. എന്നാൽ ആ ടെൻഷൻ ഇനിയില്ല. ദൈവത്തിന്റെ സ്വന്തം നാട്ടിലെ സ്വാദ് ഇപ്പോൾ യുഎയിലും എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നു.
അതെ, നിങ്ങൾ മറന്ന സ്വാദിന്റെ ഓർമ്മകൾ പുതുക്കുവാൻ തേജസ് റെസ്റ്റോറന്റ് അജ്മാൻ. നിങ്ങളുടെ NTV വീണ്ടും പാടാം സഖി. ഗസൽ രാഗമഴയുമായി മലയാള ഗസൽ വിസ്മയം മുമ്പായി എത്തുന്നു. കാത്തിരിക്കുക. വീണ്ടും പാടാം സഖി. In association with
Atlas Group of Institutions, expanded with its new division.
Welcome back. Before we took our break, we asked Shalini, do you think mothers play a part in creating this unhealthy obsession? And she very emphatically rolled her eyes and said yes. So we are running out of time, but I would like to elaborate a little further on this question. Why yes, Shalini?
I think even though the media projects a perfect figure. And I think it's up to the mothers, because children are more close to their mothers and fathers, but I think fathers are in the background for now.
Okay.
And,
We are saved.
mothers, so it's the mother's job to actually inculcate the proper idea, the proper figure into the children's minds. But I think in the Friday magazine, I think last year, I'd actually read about this mother who gives plastic surgery as a Christmas present.
True.
And I was so shocked when I read that. I didn't, like, she said that in school her children were being bullied because of their looks. So she thought, why not give them plastic surgery? So then that would build up on their self-esteem. And after I read that, my mother was like, not go for plastic surgery. But yeah, so she has got 4 daughters, and
Okay.
and 2 of them accepted the gift, and they decided to go under the knife and do all kinds of surgery. They've got like some 35 surgeries each. And so after I read that, I think the next week there's this column in the editorial column where the readers start sending messages on what was there in the previous issue. So the whole column was surprisingly filled with, how can a mother do this? That is such a bad mother. And I was really happy when I read that, because there are parents out there who actually know that's wrong, and then they're not crazy enough to go and give that as give plastic surgery as a present. So, but yeah, still, see here we can see that the mom is actually playing the role of changing the looks. But what I really think is, like what Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has said. He said that I'm not handsome, but I can give my hand to someone who needs help.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Beauty is not in the heart.
Beautiful.
Beauty is in the heart, sorry, and not in the face.
Correct.
And that is, being my role model, I really take that very seriously.
True.
And so I think that's what our generation should actually, take that message into their hands and actually understand how it is to.
True.
Because it's not something that you can help it. It's
Exactly.
just happening.
Exactly.
It's natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Shalini. I'll have a question for ma'am before we wind up. But before that, parents, let's have a one-to-one talk, okay? Our distinguished panel is saying that we have to play a very prominent part in taking this obsession away from our children. And it's high time. 78% of our children are obsessed with looks, and that's really coming at the cost of everything else. Let's make sure we don't do this. Look at the kind, when you go out with our children, when we watch a movie with our children, pay attention to what we say. Wow, nice features. Oh my God, long hair. Wow, chiseled nose. We do this all the time, right? But we never say, wow, so intelligent. Wow, so caring. Wow, we don't do that. So it's actually we who are sending the wrong message to our children. So let's be careful about what we say. Let's not send the wrong message across. That's number 1. Number 2, let's build body confidence in our children. Every time a kind of ad that sends this message comes in, let's make sure that we clarify it. The kind of people whom we adore, Dr. Abdul Kalam, Mother Teresa, none of them would have won a beauty contest at any point in their lives. Let us convince our children that it's not just about the way they look or the way they feel they look. Okay, it's all about who they are and all about what they can do. Before we wind up, I've got one question to ma'am with 30 years of experience. Now, all our young viewers who are watching this, take it directly from the horse's mouth again. Ma'am, is success correlated with looks? You've seen a lot of girls in your life. You've seen them grow up and you've seen them do well as well. Do you think looks plays a prominent part in them being successful?
Okay. I was going to tell you that I have not come across any positive correlation between good grades and good looks. But you use the word success.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Possibly, I must admit the fact that at the time of interview, the first door may open to you because of your good looks, your bearing and the confidence, your articulateness and so on. But for the door to remain open and for you to proceed to the second door, the third door and the fourth door, you need to have substance, you need to have skills, you need to have education. And that is when you see those sort of other kind of people really marching way ahead of you. So this is what real life is all about. Good looks is important up to a certain point, but the moment you begin to obsess about it, taking those selfies, posting it on Facebook, and demanding that your friends like my photo, doesn't it happen?
True,
Okay,
true.
then you know that the child is going the wrong way. So it should stop short of it.
Exactly. And I think ma'am's message is very crisp. Yes, the first impression probably matters when you're facing an interview board, but then the rest of the challenges, you cannot tide them over with your looks. So yes, do pay attention to your looks, but then give it the significance that it requires, probably 5% or 10%. That's what the first door amounts to. But the rest of the challenges that you have, that's 95%. So don't spend 80% of your time
80%.
talking about looks. Dear parents, let us tell our children that what matters is who they are and not what they feel about how they look. Let us teach them that what's important is to be good and to do good and not to look good. Okay, so let me thank our esteemed panel here. Thanks a lot, ma'am. That was
Thank
a
you
wonderful
once again
discussion. I'm sure you
for
added
having with
a
me.
lot of value, Shalini. Thanks a lot for coming in again. And before we log off, dear parents and viewers, please do come back with your feedback as always, and we'll join you the next Saturday with another interesting discussion. Before we leave, you've got a long break coming up for the National Day. Please make sure that you make good use. The weather is absolutely awesome. Steal them away from the TV screens and the tablets. Here's a short National Day message from the NTV My Teacher team. Goodbye and see you soon.